Welcome to another table talk. We're at the Durango Casino, and today we're talking to Michael Pravica. He is a physicist from UNLV who recently said consciousness may come from a different universe. Let's go talk to him.
Thank you very much, Daniel, for inviting me. I just want to say at the outset, I'm not a gambler. I'm not against gambling. I'm not very good, but we're going to have some fun.
We're going to have a lot of fun.
I'm looking forward to it.
Me too.
Okay.
Me too. So the way this works is Michael, or the guest, Michael in this case, can choose to gamble his own money or gamble mine, and we're going to donate it to charity after he's done, whatever he's won. So, do you have an idea of what charity you want?
I was thinking of International Orthodox Christian Charities,
okay,
or the American Red Cross, for our brothers in Los Angeles.
All right. All right. Well, whatever Michael wins. Do you prefer Mike or Michael?
Mike is fine.
Mike,
doesn't matter. Yeah.
Whatever Mike wins, we will donate to his charity of choice and show you that at the end.
Thank you.
$500 each is where we will start. So let's begin. Mike, you recently went viral because you said consciousness may emanate from another universe, or another dimension.
Yes.
But before I think we can go there, I think before you could tell me where something comes from, I would like you to tell me what that something is. So what is consciousness?
Right. So consciousness is the simultaneous awareness of past, present, and future.
Okay.
Of this universe, and even universes that may be beyond our universe, parallel universes, for example, universes of different dimensions.
Consciousness is the simultaneous awareness of past, present, and future.
Yeah.
The simultaneous awareness of past, present, and future. So does that mean an insect is conscious? Because it has an idea, right? Because it fears certain things, it craves certain things.
Sure. When I say awareness, I'm thinking in the context, the whole kit and caboodle, the ability to literally go outside of time. Animals typically, my son called them protein robots. He's a biochemistry major, but basically essentially animals mostly live in the present. They do have a little bit of awareness of the past. They can also a little bit predict the future. But they don't have that far-reaching. For example, we can think of our universe 13.5 billion years ago when it just started in the Big Bang.
Right.
Animals don't think quite that way. We think about what might be. I'm sorry?
Cards you want to use?
Sure, you can use mine.
And we'll be at 5 and 5.
5 and 5. Thank you.
And so, I mean, we have a much deeper sense. We have an ability to go outside of our universe, to go outside of time, and solve problems. And we call it thinking outside of the box. Thank you. Thank you very much.
All right. So where were we? Consciousness and what it is. It's a simultaneous. So then not everything is conscious. Not every animal is conscious.
Yeah. Not everything is conscious because we have, I'm still learning this.
Yeah.
Not everything is, well, again, consciousness gives us a conscience.
Right.
Okay, it gives us something that everything we do in this universe has a consequence. Don't
forget your dollar on top.
Okay, put my dollar on top.
Time for a new hand. Yep.
Okay.
Perfect.
Good.
So everything has a consciousness to it?
Yes. Well, again, we have this free will, and we have this ability to look at everything that we have. I'll go one more.
You're 18. You don't want to hit on 18.
Okay, I'll hold. Okay.
Definitely never want to hit on 18.
Okay. So can I ask if you're...
Yeah.
Okay, so if you beat me, do I still win anything?
We're not playing against each other. We're playing against him.
Okay. I got it. Okay, thank you. Sorry, I just...
No.
Forgot the rule.
For sure.
Okay.
For sure.
Okay.
So then... There's a universal consciousness. Is that what we're drawing from? Is that how it works?
I think that we have free will, so I wouldn't quite call it a universal consciousness. I would call it universal connectedness.
Universal connectedness.
Yeah. Our conscience is connected, if we want it to be, through love. Love is the most powerful force.
I'm
going to stay. Definitely stay.
Oh, why'd you have to beat me? I got my first gold coin. So this is free bet, and you
Okay.
get gold coins
Okay.
for splits and doubles.
Wow.
And this is the pay table for that. So if you can get lucky enough to get 5 splits and doubles,
Okay.
you get 100 to 1 on this bet.
Oh, that's
It's kind
wow,
of crazy.
That's fascinating.
Thank you, sir. All right.
Okay.
So back to our fractured conversation here.
Sure.
So when you say consciousness is your ability to keep kind of past, present, and future in mind,
Yeah.
is that all it is?
No, I think consciousness is a connectedness to Nikola Tesla, for example, one of the world's greatest inventors, said that we are all receivers and transmitters of information from a higher source.
Yeah.
So I think that consciousness is that connectedness to that higher source. I'll get hit me.
Yep.
Okay.
You're at 15.
15. I'll try one more.
Uh-oh. We may have a broken machine here.
Possibly.
Uh-oh. The universe
The universe
has had a bit of a hiccup just
right.
now. So I still can't wrap my head around it, because
Yeah.
then what are animals? What are
Right. So animals, we derived from animals.
Yeah.
Animals live in this three-dimensional universe. They are and if you read the Bible, they were produced sort of to support us. And then when God was ready, he breathed his life into us. We are unique because that's where our godlike image comes from. So although our bodies are similar, we have the same kinds of wants that animals do, we have a conscience. We have a higher dimensional connectedness to our creator that basically says that that first of all, we have consequences for what we do. And we also have, because of those consequences, we have to think about that carefully and navigate. Animals, do just play, they're playing a game of,
You want to hit? That's okay.
Okay,
What
I'll
do you?
stay.
You hit on that 15. He
Oh,
didn't
yeah.
have a card
Okay,
available.
let me-
Yeah, we're good. So animals.
Okay, I lost.
Nah. Go ahead. Yeah. Again,
I know.
this is kind of the format. We're constantly going to be
that's cool.
distracted.
That's cool, that's
That's
cool.
life. I'll take one.
Yeah.
So animals. Tell me about them.
Yeah. So again, animals derived via evolution. Our universe supports animals, supports life.
Yeah.
That's part of life is animals, and so animals. Of course, we live in a universe which is. Oh,
You have to bet.
Okay, got
Yep.
it. Okay, so we live in a universe where.
Do you want to put one more? That way you're betting 10.
Okay.
Yeah. You want to make some money for your charity.
Sure.
Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
I'm not optimistic, but.
Yeah.
Okay. Can I also okay, go ahead. So the issue of the animals is just simply that we live in a connected ecosphere.
Right.
So all the animals sort of support. Hit me. Okay.
The
I'm
animals.
gonna stay.
No, you're done.
Yeah.
But so the animals support. Okay.
Yeah. So they create an ecosphere that's balanced, so that it produces food for us. It does all sorts of. It basically is a self-supporting system, and so we need those animals. But in some sense, if you want to look at, we're here to kind of be the guardians, the caretakers of this beautiful planet.
Okay. So then I'm left a little bit
Oh yeah.
curious.
Can I change $5?
Yeah, you can just put it down. He can't take it from you. But
Oh, sorry.
so I'm going to physics now, which as far as I understand physics, and I'm just a dumb YouTuber, but doesn't it take a conscious observer to collapse the wave function?
Yes. So the point is, we are an observer.
Right.
Okay. And so
Yeah.
I'm getting some good cards here.
You're doing all right, but then he's got an ace, so you're in trouble again.
Okay.
No insurance.
No insurance. So the thing is, as far as physics goes, basically the thing is that what we have is collapsing the wave function is being able to observe. We are here to observe an amazing world,
Right.
a world filled with miracles, quantum mechanical miracles, and so I won something. Wow.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, you won one finally.
Okay. Yes.
Thank goodness.
Okay.
All right. So, are you saying that before humans showed up, that there was no world because there was no observer?
In some sense, yes. So think about this: when a tree falls on the moon
And no one can
and
hear
nobody's
it.
around to
Yeah.
hear it, doesn't make a sound. Well, actually, there's no atmosphere on the moon, so it hit me. Or how do you say it? 3B?
Huh?
How do you
No,
say
it hit me. Yeah, you say hit me.
Okay. So,
Ooh.
okay. So the thing is, basically, if before humans came, there was life, but it was primitive life. There were mold, bacteria, spores, plants.
But
and
they weren't conscious, so
they
there
weren't
was no
conscious,
collapse.
So there was
down.
there wasn't, nothing was observed. We are here to observe this amazing. You want? Oh,
I'm
you
doing
are good at
amazing.
this. Okay.
I'm doing amazing right
Okay,
now. Oh,
okay,
he's got
I'm very
20.
happy
Come
for
on.
you.
Oh, no. How about that one? Nope. Oh, I could have used that first. I'm still having trouble wrapping my head around the world or nothing. So
Yeah.
there was like 14 billion years before we showed up?
Yeah, so there
13
was
billion years, so there
as
was
far as
nothing?
we're concerned,
Yeah.
there was it was just an empty universe. I mean, it had life, but
But did it?
Well,
So
it
in
had-
other words, if there was no collapse, did any of this really exist?
Well, it existed from the standpoint that there were these biological systems, this biochemistry, and that basically drove these chemical reactions that ended up becoming life as we know it. Okay? But the point is that humans were here to appreciate that. We were put on this planet not only to be a caretaker, but to appreciate.
Well, what makes us so special then? Why weren't dogs the chosen one, or wolves, or dinosaurs, or...
Well, because we have that special connection with our creator that allows us to. Dogs are special. They're not saying they're,
They're very
not. Of
special.
course.
I have 3. I
I
love
had a
them.
dog. I
Yeah.
mean, unfortunately, he passed away. But the point is, the dog was sort of made for us to give us company, to help protect our homesteads.
So you've got your first pair,
Okay.
and this is free bet, so you get to split for free. You got to go like this.
Okay. So I'll go like that.
Yep, and he'll split your 9s for you. You'll get one of those,
Oh, fascinating. Okay.
and then hopefully you'll get another 9 or deuce.
Okay. Okay.
Nope.
Okay.
And then you'll want to stay on that
Stay on
you're
that.
against a 3,
Okay. I see.
and then you want to
Okay.
stay on that.
Stay on that. Okay.
All right.
Sorry, I'm a little bit.
No,
neophyte
we're
here.
doing great. We're doing great.
Okay.
17. Now it's so great, but you won 1.
Okay, cool. All right. So yeah, so I mean the thing is when, we're here to appreciate. So the point is there was something before this universe. We have the dinosaur record. We have all sorts of, we have evidence from the Big Bang, the red shifts. But the point is that we are here to appreciate. We understand. We have that ability to. We have a small brain. And I'll get solved with that. So we have a small brain,
Yeah.
and yet our brain can comprehend volumes greater than this universe. I can think about universes that have higher dimensions. I can think about parallel universes. So that is a gift, because that's a gift of creativity. We have a creativity that animals have limited creativity, more by accident, discovering something that works. We have where we can actually plan. Hit me.
You want to do that?
Yeah.
You get a free double down on your 10.
Okay.
But what makes it special?
What makes us special?
Yeah,
is
why
that,
do
well,
we-
again, in the Bible, we have God's breath. God gave us a hyperdimensional ability to literally think outside of the box and to connect
Okay.
with Him through love. He loves us.
Since you brought up God,
Yeah.
you most scientists and most people in your position, I think, are either
Not
atheists
religious,
or
yeah,
agnostic
yeah.
at the very best,
Right.
and they believe in a deterministic universe that just kind of the dominoes fell and here we are.
Yeah.
So why do you think you differ so much from them? And are we in a deterministic universe? You just see it differently?
I see it very differently. Thank you.
Perfect.
Okay. I'll keep that.
Yep.
Yeah. So so determinism says that there's like a theory of everything. For example, that you can calculate something with total precision and know exactly what the outcome is going to be. But because we live in a world dominated by something called the Heisenberg uncertainty principle, did I win? Looks like I won something. Dominated by the Heisenberg uncertainty principle, we have a fundamental uncertainty in this universe that we cannot know everything with absolute certainty. There's no such thing as a point in this universe, for example. So that, in my opinion, allows free will. The complete freedom to do what we want to do and not be predictable.
The complete freedom to do what we want to do.
Yeah.
But ace, oh,
2.
9, 10. I got 19. Okay. I'm going to have a hard time with this because I'm not as smart as you, and
That's okay.
I'm grasping here. But if the universe is deterministic in that how the dominoes are falling,
Yeah.
right? And that is, as far as we could tell, that is the past is just deterministic and it's just dominoes. How do we fit free will into dominoes?
Right. Okay. So it's determined. The thing is, if you want to look in a classical world, and we do mostly live in the classical
Yes.
world, it's deterministic. Yes, I can throw a ball, and I can, with extreme precision, I can throw that ball and hit that, slot machine. Okay?
Right.
That's determinism. But if you go at the quantum level, there is a fundamental uncertainty. Hit me.
It's up to him.
Yeah. Okay.
There you go. So,
Yeah. I think I'll stay.
yeah. You're against the 6, so
Yeah, yeah,
he's
yeah,
going to
yeah,
bust.
yeah.
See?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I'm getting this a little bit.
Yeah.
So the thing is that so from a fundamental level, for example, you can look at electrons,
Yeah.
and actually they're called fermions. You cannot determine this is the Joe electron, this is the Mike electron, this is the Daniel. They're literally mixed.
Right.
You cannot determine. There's no determinism for them at the quantum world.
At the quantum level, there's no determinism.
no
Absolutely, it's all probability.
Right. Okay. So the point is that our underpinnings are based on complete uncertainty.
Sure.
Yet all of your cells are thermodynamic miracles, all based on the probability of molecules hitting each other and getting in the right spots and having a chemical reaction. And despite that, I'm going to stay. Despite having that probability, we function, we exist.
Yeah.
So that's called statistical physics. You can predict physical. I cannot predict exact, how molecules are going to move and what their space, but I can say when I go over many seconds, I can predict how they're going to react.
Gotcha.
That's your determinism. But the fundamental is not deterministic. It's quantum.
So at our core, you put your dollar up
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah,
then pull your winnings back. You got winnings this
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
Yeah. So you're saying that fundamentally the world is not deterministic.
Yeah, it's not.
It's not, as far as
not.
we understand it.
Yeah,
It's not.
from statistical averages, you can get in a pretty good approximation of determination. We call that, there's a principle of, when you transition from the quantum correspondence principle to the classical world, yes, that can be pretty deterministic, but there's still, we're based,
You'll want to hit against
I'm going to
the queen.
hit, because he's got a.
Now you're
Okay.
17.
I think
You're
I'm
gonna
gonna keep
you're gonna be
it.
forced to stay.
I'm gonna stay, okay.
And I'll take 1 and a 7. All right. I'm 17 too. You got a 6 and you'll bust. 22. Yeah.
So
That's
we
a
won.
push. That's a
Okay.
push.
Oh, that's a push.
Oh yeah, we get a couple dollars on the button. $5.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for helping.
Yeah.
me.
Yeah. No. Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. This is fun.
Yeah.
I'm still having a hard time wrapping my head around the fact that we're somehow special, right?
Okay.
Compared to everything else,
Right.
compared to the 13 billion years that
Right.
came before us.
I understand.
And my pushback here is, and again, I'm not. There's that principle. I forget what it's called, but the one where we derive the radiation background, right? Where
Cosmic background radiation.
yeah, where the principle that we found that through that basically said that we're not
holding.
special. Our place in the universe is
Right,
not special.
right.
What is
That's
that
right.
called again?
Yeah, that's the relativity. It basically says that there's no. Relativity basically says we tied, I think.
Yeah,
Okay.
well, yeah, you tied, I
Okay.
lost. But yeah, so that the principle that basically said that we're not special,
Yeah,
our
you're
place
talking,
in the
you're talking
universe
about, like,
is not special.
Kepler, and
yes.
you're talking about Aristotle had this idea that the heliocentric versus the geocentric viewpoint.
Yes.
So and even the heliocentric is
And a dollar on top. So if we're not special, or if our
Yeah.
place in the universe is not special, if
Right.
we're not, so then what makes us suddenly special?
Sure. What makes us special is that we can imagine universes beyond our universes. The fact that we can imagine that there's a creator. The fact that we.
Well, we
have-
don't know that
No, we
dolphins
don't.
can't also think that.
True. Is that an 11 or a 1?
That's an 18 or an 8.
Okay, I'm sorry. Can I retract that? I'll just stay.
I'm gonna go ahead and take one. Yeah. So, one more.
Yeah. So the thing is, so that it doesn't matter that our Milky Way is in the middle of nowhere. The fact that our little tiny minds can grasp something greater than the Milky Way is a gift.
So, you believe in a God
I
that
do believe in
created
God.
this universe.
Yes.
Why create everything else?
Sure.
If all that's important is us and here and now.
Well, the point is that if you think about it from the standpoint of a, oh no, I'm good. Okay.
You've already bled.
Oh, okay,
Like,
okay.
yeah.
If you think, I'm sorry.
No, you're
I got
good. You're
distracted.
good.
If you're thinking about it from the standpoint of a creator, the point is God is making. I'm going to have to hit. I think. Oh,
Oui.
out.
Yeah. No, that you
That
did the
was
right
sometime-
thing. You
yeah,
did the
okay.
right thing.
Okay. So if you think about it from the standpoint of a creator, God wants to make something like himself. Okay? And so the essence is that he made this universe for us to kind of command it at some point. Think about like inheriting a beautiful machine, like a Lamborghini, and saying, I want you to take care of my Lamborghini.
Right.
And I want you to drive it, and I want you to service it, and clean it, and polish it. We inherited a Lamborghini. Unfortunately, we blew it, okay, so we got a little disconnected from our creator.
Okay.
And so now we have to kind of fight to get that back, to get that working Lamborghini. Right now, do you remember like the Beverly Hills Hillbilly?
Yeah.
Okay, so remember how they drove on, Jethro would drive on that old Model whatever T?
Sure.
Well, that's kind of what happened, is that our Lamborghini turned into a Model T. We have pain, we have to suffer, we have to fight for our food. And okay.
And but you also believe that our creator created all that suffering
Yes,
and all that
for us
to learn from.
to learn from, but to enjoy. What's wrong with enjoying the world a little bit?
No, I'm just so the argument of the counter argument to yours, of course, is you have a God that's created childhood cancer.
Yeah. No, that's not. He didn't create that.
Okay.
That came as a consequence of statistics, of quantum mechanics, of using, for example, chemicals which humans invented, like DDT, that modified our genotype a little bit. That interacted and made mutations.
Sure.
That wasn't God. The point is that we lived, because now we got disconnected from God. Now God said, well, you're in this world of like a laboratory. The laboratory is founded by quantum mechanics. That's how God tries everything out.
You want to hit against
I
the
think I'm going to
king.
hit again, yeah. Okay, blew it.
Not much you can do there.
Not much there.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
was a tough, because he's got a king.
Yeah. So, geez, Nicholas. So he didn't. Well, but he also created a
My
world.
son's name is Nicholas.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Ah, there you go.
Cool name.
I'm having trouble with your point of view in that. Granted, he didn't create the chemicals that cause. Well, but he did
Right.
create the chemicals that cause cancer. I mean, even
Well,
though we
he created a
them in-
universe that we messed with those. God didn't make DDT. That was made by science, by chemists.
right?
So he.
But he also created. Oh, there's my. Oh, is that good? It's not good. Why is it not good? Oh, because you have my 6.
No, I needed a 7 for the next for this element.
Oh, you're against the 6, so you should probably
Yeah.
stay. So yeah.
Yeah.
well,
So the
yeah.
point is that
please.
sadness is essentially, in a way, the absence of God. When we were connected with God, everything was all set. We were like Jesus. We could do anything we wanted. We were, of course, enjoy the world. The point is that the world has sadness because we went away from God. And issues of, like, look at Jesus healing all these people. Clearly there's a positive energy there that the blind man, he could touch that makes sense from a physics perspective. I mean, it's just energy. Everything's about energy.
Sure.
Do you have positive energy? The mind is, healthy mind, healthy body.
Right.
That's all part of that quantum mechanic of feeling good. Okay, and the point is, when we went away from that, when we became selfish, then unfortunately, we were left to the vices of this universe. What I'm trying to say is that our bodies come from this universe.
Okay.
They were worked out with evolution.
Okay.
Life is the eigenstate of this universe. This universe was made to support life. The point is that
You want to stay. You're against the 5.
Okay.
You're hoping he busts.
okay, all right, let's stay. So
And he does.
okay, wow, thank you. I can listen to you.
Yeah, so he finally did what he was supposed to. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so as you can see, it's tough to keep a conversation going. It's a little
I
bit.
know. Especially these are deep issues.
Yeah.
Which I'm good with.
Yeah.
For the record.
But I think the juxtaposition is
Yeah.
fun, right?
Yeah,
like
yeah,
where
no,
it's
it's
kind of
totally
scattered,
fun.
it's broken.
I'm excited. Thank you. I mean,
Yeah.
I love this.
Ooh,
Ooh.
why'd you have to have an ace? No insurance. We're good.
Yeah.
Oh, he had it this time.
He had it. Okay.
So you just instantly lose when he's got the 21 there.
Yeah. No, I realize that. What if I get a 21 and he gets? We're even then, right?
Yeah, you would push.
Okay.
So don't forget.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, so the thing is that we have a special gift, the gift of creation. I call it logic and love. Logic
Okay.
is our mathematics. That's how we build things. And then love is how we connect with each other and do the work of what a creator would do. Okay,
wanna do that?
I'm good?
You want to do that?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, please.
Okay. So the point is that sadness, you can't, the point is that we cannot expect, God is not driving the whole show here. He set up a functional system through his free will, through his quantum mechanics. And the point, can I trade one of these for 5 ones? So what he did is he set up this world to function on its own. Now, every once in a while, he gets involved when people pray. Okay? Does he always get involved? No, I can't explain why, but he's the ultimate free spirit. Okay, we have to connect with him. But at the same time, you can look at many aspects of life. Can I just make sure, is that an 11 or a 1? No,
That's a 17.
That- okay.
That's a 7 or a 17.
Or a 7, right? Okay.
And you're against the 6, so you want to take your free hit
Okay.
because you have
Okay.
no chance of busting.
Okay.
But as soon as you have a chance of busting, you want to stay.
Okay.
So you'll take
all
your
right.
free hit
I'll take
here,
the free hit.
and then you'll stay on 17.
And I'll stay at 17. Okay.
And I'll stay on 16, and he'll hopefully have 17. So we
Okay.
push. You push, I bust.
Does that make sense? So in other words, yeah, there's pain in this universe, absolutely.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean that was the original intention. It's just that
But if
the
he
message.
can intervene,
Yeah.
why doesn't he stop children from dying from cancer? Like, what is the
Right.
point of a baby who's
Right.
who's born and dies?
Right.
Oh, I needed the 7. I needed the 7.
I would say hit me.
Yeah. So why doesn't he intervene?
Right. Okay, I'll stay. So he intervened. So the thing is that first off, you have to look from the standpoint of eternity.
Yeah.
Okay, we are suffering. Little children, babies suffer, of course.
Yeah.
But for example, if there's a baby that is going to be put up for adoption, is not loved, what would you rather have? That baby be with its creator, or be in a world that is going to be further miserable?
Sure.
Okay, I'm not
But
making
you're
a choice.
cherry picking a choice.
I'm cherry picking. That's fair.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
fair. Okay, I agree with you. But I'm simply
What
saying.
about the child that's born to a good home?
Yeah.
That's got to have parents
That
that
gets
love
cancer.
him. That's going
Right.
to have a great career and
Right.
life.
Right.
What is the point of that child
Right.
dying at like 2 months old?
Right, I agree,
Or at
and
birth?
I would simply say that. I guess I have to stay.
Yeah, you're saying.
I would okay.
21.
21. I would simply say that the point is that I'm going to start using more.
Yeah, yeah, why not?
Since now I see how this is going.
Yeah.
I would say that that again, the issue that sometimes these issues of pain
Yeah.
bring us closer to our Creator. You know, Shakespeare said the same thing, that when you have, that's why he wrote tragedies, is he felt that people would learn more from the tragedies than
Yeah.
like the Twelfth Night,
Yeah.
than comedies.
By the way,
So-
I don't disagree with
Yeah.
you. I feel like the darkness
Yeah.
is our canvas
Yeah.
for the happiness, for the good,
Yeah.
right?
Right. I mean, I've had a lot of dark sadness. I lost a brother and
We
a
all
sister.
have.
We've had sadness, you know.
You want to do one of these?
Yeah.
So you
okay.
can't. I always say you can't appreciate the good without the bad.
I
It's
fully
you're
agree with
literally
that.
canvas.
Yeah, right. So, but that doesn't mean that, if anything, this is where something comes in, it's called faith, is that you believe in, okay. So faith is something where you believe in something that you cannot quantify, something that's outside of this universe. And that's really where a lot of these issues come from, are issues of faith. And so the point is that, you know, the point is simply that faith is this concept of it's love, it's belief in something that's higher than yourself, that transcends your universe, transcends your selfishness. I'm going to stay.
Oh my goodness. So, how does your so when you're working on physics ideas in your head,
Yeah.
do you come
Sorry,
to
I
it?
meant here. I cancel that.
Do you come to it from a place of mysticalness? Like, do you think of it as what would God have done here? What would a creator have done in this case? Or how do
Great
you?
question.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, you know, as a physicist, first of all, there's two issues.
Yeah.
Can it hit me? As a physicist, okay, what happens is that, first of all, there's the laws of physics. Okay, so that's immutable. I mean, that is what it is. But what my faith, which is more in the metaphysics, gives me an inspiration. Okay, it gives me a sense. Can I trade 5 of these for? So it gives me a sense of where do I want to go? Why do I want to learn physics? I don't want to learn physics to blow up the world. I don't want to learn physics just because it's cool. I want to learn physics because I'd like to help the world. Exactly with things like you're saying. I mean, I'm not going to solve cancer, but I do have ideas that may relate to helping cancer, you know, research, and that's part of our. Can hit me. That's part of our.
You want to take another one?
Yeah, take another one. I don't have a choice. Okay,
Perfect. You got
I'm
19.
done. Okay. So the thing is, I don't want to be in a situation where, you know, I want to use my talents that God gave me to basically help the world, help humanity. So the religion is like a faith, okay? It's something that gives me a spirit of love, of like, what is the reason? What is the purpose for doing this? And, you know, it's like a painter. We're in a painting, but there's a creator in that painting that we're trying to reach out to. You know that famous painting of, I think, Michelangelo in the Vatican?
Yeah,
where there's is raising and God is like this.
The ceiling of the Sistine Chapel?
Yes,
Yeah.
we're trying to reconnect with our creator. Our creator.
Why?
I'm done. I'm going to stay. Our creator. Why are we trying to connect?
Yeah.
Oh, because we have this need for love. He gave us this need for love, and we get that true love, that eternal love from him. And we share it with each other. The cross is like love coming down from above, from God,
Okay.
and then we share the love with each other. I mean, it's the most beautiful thing ever. And so that gives me a motivation to be a physicist, because I happen to like math.
Right.
I'm be okay at math, and you know, I'm okay with I have a laboratory, lasers, and you know, and so I use those talents to try and better the humanity's lot. So that's my inspiration. So although religion and physics, I'm going to stay. Religion and physics have very little to do as far as connecting. They inspire one another. They're mutually complementary. They're not contradictory. They're complementary. So
Physics and theology are
Yes,
complementary.
Absolutely. It gives me a sense of, why am I here? What is my purpose? What do I need to do? And why? And our universe, exactly what you were talking about, the relativity. We're in the middle of nowhere.
Right.
There's like the little prince being on this little planet. There is this,
Nice blackjack.
super duper.
There you go.
Okay. So like the little prince being on his planet.
Oh,
Oh, I'm sorry. I should have put that on.
it's all right.
It's okay.
It's all right. Yeah.
Sorry about that.
No, it's okay. Yeah, it's all right.
You know, we are lonely without God.
Yeah.
God gives us a sense of purpose and a sense of like, okay, I get it. Jesus was born in a manger in the middle of the desert.
Right.
And yet it was the most greatest miracle that could have ever happened. And so we're like that. We're that miracle in the middle of nowhere. God likes it that way.
God likes it that way. God likes us in the middle of nowhere, wondering why we're here, who we are.
I think so. Because it brings us closer to Him. I'm going to stay. Does
Why
that
do you
make
think?
sense?
Not quite.
Okay.
But my next question would be then, why do you think what you believe is at odds with a lot of your peers?
Well, because unfortunately we live
Why
in a-
aren't most scientists religious?
Well, first of all, let me say that of all sciences, physicists have the highest percentage of religious.
Yep.
There are people, Isaac Newton, Nikola Tesla, were all religious. Even Einstein mentioned the concept of God. Okay.
You want to stay
I
against
think I'm
the
going to
five.
stay for that one. Yeah.
Wave it up.
You gotta do that.
Oh, do the. Oh,
yeah.
okay, sorry.
They need the hand signal for
Okay,
the
I'm
for the cameras up top. No, you're good. You're good.
No problem. 8.
I mean, I have to.
You got it.
Yep. Just don't be a 6. Can I double?
I wish.
Yeah.
Just a hit.
Yeah. We're good.
16.
Yeah, we're good. Okay. So, why do you think you're at odds? With
So the thing is, we live in a very materialistic world, a world without God. I'm going to.
we're done with that.
We're
Yeah,
done.
yeah.
Okay. Did I win anything? Or?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
you
cool,
won.
cool,
Yeah,
cool,
he's
cool.
paying
Okay,
us.
Okay.
Yeah, you're good.
All right. I'm gonna go all out here.
There you go.
The thing is, we live in a world of materialism where people think that there's a theory of everything. That
Sure.
one equation is going to solve.
Oh, you don't think so? You don't think we're ever going to bridge the gap between really?
No, because if you think of outside of the universe,
Sure.
in a realm of metaphysics that I cannot prove, but that there was a creator, there's no way you can explain the creator within our three-dimensional. Definitely.
You want to double on that? You want to do
double on that?
that?
Okay,
Yeah.
double on that. Okay. So in the world, there's.
So is that against your peers? Like, I think most of your peers believe that we will eventually find a theory that unites classical physics and
Many
quantum.
peers think that, but especially theorists tend to have confidence in their mathematics. And mathematics is an approximation to reality
Yes.
because there's no such thing as a point in our universe. Ooh, I came
You did
big.
good, yeah.
Wow. Wow, okay, I'm sorry. I'm
There
not
you
used
go.
to this. I'm sorry. Okay. I'm excited for the charity.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the thing is that, so in this do we have the confidence that we can calculate everything to absolute precision? That's an arrogance.
You want to do that?
Yeah,
Yep.
do that. That's an arrogance. And the more that I learn about the world, the universe, the more I realize what I don't know. You know that concept that I got a bachelor's degree, oh, I know everything about physics. Then you get a master's, I'm like, maybe I don't know so much. Then you get a PhD, you don't know anything.
Right.
And so it's a humility. And so there is no such thing as a theory of everything.
Hi. Mike, would you like a drink?
Could I just get a Coke?
A diet. Thank you. Please go on.
Yeah. So this arrogance that we are God, that we can calculate everything and that we can have control, it's just arrogance. I mean, it's just wrong. And so
Is it arrogance or is it just that we think we'll eventually solve a problem because that's what we're built for? Right?
we are built for that. Absolutely.
It's a free double. If you
It's a
want.
free double.
Okay, I'll do the
Yep.
do the double. So, I mean, I think not to knock science. Science has had tremendous, miracles of
Sure.
discoveries about the way the universe works.
Giving you a career.
Give me a career. I love physics.
Yeah,
Don't get me
yeah,
wrong.
yeah.
But theology inspires my physics, and there's no contradiction. It just gives me a sense of a higher order, that there's something I don't know everything. I'm going to keep. Don't you think about it this way, Daniel?
Yes, sir.
If I was in a world where I knew all the answers right away, wouldn't it be a boring, sad
Of
world?
course.
The whole essence of life is to search, to ask questions. That's what I do every day. I ask questions. Some I get answers for.
13.
You want to
I want to hit. Some I get answers for, but most I don't. When I do experiments, I don't know all the answers. Okay, and that's okay. But I like playing cards. I still, it's the fact that I make it something big. That's a big deal to me. And that I learned something about. Yeah, I'm sorry. That I learned something. Thank you. That I learned something about this amazing miracles of the universe. That's cool. Science is very inspiring for me, but I still have a humility. Isaac Newton said it best. He said, I cannot, I guess I'll stay. I'm going to stay. I cannot, I feel as if I was a child on the seashore and I found some very pretty pebbles, but I realized the infinity of the pebbles before me that I will never explore. That's cool. I'm cool with that. Okay, I'm totally cool with that. And that just gives me some of that sense of the mystery of this universe. And so I like the search. I love going into a laboratory when I feel, like the energy, the particles, the quantum mechanics. And I'm trying to ask a question. Thank you. I'm trying to ask a question, and maybe I'll get an answer, maybe I won't. But it's that process. It's the journey that counts. There's a famous quote. I'm sorry, I can't remember if it was C.S. Lewis or somewhere, where there are these physicists or scientists that go up a mountain, and they get to the top, and then there's all these monks there, and the monks are like, "What took you so long?" And so I kind of feel this is my way of coming to.
Insurance.
No insurance.
No, I'm going to stay.
Yeah, you're staying with that hand.
11.
And so I feel a happiness that I get to journey, and that I get to journey and explore this. There's a famous country song, "Come Walk Through This World With Me" by George Jones.
Okay.
It's George Jones. Beautiful song. That's what it is. God wanted something where we were going to be happy together. Can I change one of these for 5? Where we were going to journey in this Garden of Eden, so to speak. Perfect. Thank you. And so I feel that's like we are in this amazing puzzle. Nobody's got the answers.
Right. And you don't think we
can't
ever
prove
will
God.
have the answers?
I don't. Not in this universe. No. But I think when we die, we will get the answers. So.
Some people stay there, or most people stay.
Most people would stay right here because you're against the
Okay.
two.
Okay. All right. Okay. I'll stay.
18. Well,
Okay.
it didn't quite work out,
Okay.
but
That's okay.
it's supposed to usually. Mathematically,
Okay.
you're playing the odds.
I get it. I get the odds.
You're playing the
somewhat.
probability.
Yeah. I realize it's all about probability.
That's all.
Just like what goes on in our bodies. It's all
Right.
probability, but it works.
It works.
It works.
So then tell me about this theory you went viral for.
Yeah, so it was a little bizarre. I was asked to do, I'm kind of a liaison with UNLV for anytime people have science questions in the media, I'm just going to stay. Anytime they'll say, hey, let Mikey take care. Maybe Mike can answer this. And
we've got a big hand building up here, Mike.
Okay.
We've got a big hand. 7 or 3 or 4?
Okay.
Oh my God! We're about to hit something huge, Mike.
I'm sorry, I don't even.
Oh my
I don't
God.
even have
One
a clue,
come
but
on.
This is cool.
Come on, stay. Come on. Oh, we did it. We did it.
Oh my gosh.
One more.
One more. We did it. Oh my God. Oh my God. Mike, this is unbelievable.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Oh, this is
This is so
unbelievable.
cool.
It's
Oh,
all
this
right.
is
It's
so
all right.
cool. Okay.
19, 20, 16. Oh my, Mike, you're about to see something incredible.
Wow. Okay,
Watch this.
Okay.
Watch
this
this.
is cool.
So I get.
Can I take a picture of this?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
sorry. Just for my.
Yeah.
I mean, again, I'm so clueless about this, but it's so cool.
So I get $50 for each gold coin on my main bet.
Okay.
And then I got
6 coins.
6 coins. I get 100 to 1 on my $25.
Ooh. Okay. Wow.
2,500.
So are you still playing it, or?
No, we're
he's
done with the
paying out.
hand.
He's
I'm
paying
about
out.
to win $2,500 on this hand.
That's so cool.
Isn't that incredible?
That's incredible. Yeah,
Use
that
some
is.
greens or
I've got
Big
enough
tips?
greens.
Yeah,
I've got
big
enough
tips?
greens.
25.
Yeah.
What? 25.
6 points, quarter bet.
Very nice, boss.
Very nice. What a hand. Oh my God. $2,500. I got 6 of the gold coins in free
Perfect,
bet
thanks.
blackjack.
Okay.
That's
Maybe I need to
unbelievable.
gamble just a little more. Sorry, I'm very conservative.
Thank you, John.
But it's okay. I'm having fun.
Appreciate you.
I really could care
That was
less.
unbelievable.
Forget the money. I'm having fun.
Wow.
That's what it's all about.
I apologize. That completely threw us off, but that's
No,
kind of
that's
the
cool.
point
That's
of this.
cool. That's fun.
Yeah.
I used to watch this when I was a student at Caltech. We would come up for the weekends, and then I never gambled, but I would watch the gambling. It was fun. Watching my friends
you.
blow their money.
All right. So
Thank you very
I
much.
think I had just asked you
Yeah.
where your theory came from.
Yeah. So what happened was Popular Mechanics was talking about something about.
You want to take one
I'll
there?
take
It's a free
Yeah.
card.
Let me hit.
18.
18. You want to?
Okay, I'll stay.
Right? You want him to stay there? Yeah.
Okay.
So please.
So Popular Mechanics had asked to do an interview on panpsychism.
Yeah.
I'm not an expert on panpsychism, but I was like, okay.
And panpsychism is
it's
where.
this idea that we're all the same mind.
Right.
That we're all a connected mind.
Right.
Okay. And I said, and they wanted somebody who was skeptical. I said, well, look, I believe in free will because I'm an Orthodox Christian. I said, so no, I'll be happy to be a skeptic. Somehow we got into the conversation, and I was in, and
You want to take one?
yeah, I'll take one.
20.
Okay.
Perfect.
So the interviewer got so fascinated with. I said, look, if you're going to talk about connectedness, quantum mechanics, the soul, we have to get into a situation of God. We have to get into hyperdimensionality. And she said, what do you mean by hyperdimensionality? So I explained the concept. And she
So
was
what
so,
is hyperdimensionality?
we live in a universe of 3 dimensions, Z, X, and Y.
And
so
time.
a cube.
Yep.
And time. So that's 3 plus 1 or 4 dimensions,
Yep.
according to Einstein. Now, the point is, even in physics, they have this concept of, did we put our bets
He's making
down?
a fill,
Okay.
so we're good for a minute.
So we have this concept of string theory, for example, where there are more than 4 dimensions. And so I was explaining to her that even from the standpoint of being able to go outside of the box, that what we call the ansatz experiment, that is kind of a hyperdimensional going out and then going back in to solve your problem. And so she was so fascinated by it, she talked to her editor and she said, we just want to do an article on your theory of hyperdimensionality. And she said, what evidence do you have? I said, well, if you believe in the miracles of Jesus, Jesus could walk through walls after he resurrected. Well, that's easy to explain from a hyperdimensional experience. That if you think about, for example, this is a 2-dimensional, this table. And if I'm a 3-dimensional being,
Yeah.
okay, as I go through this table, do we put the bets on? Or?
Yeah, we ready to play again? All right, yeah.
Okay,
So you're
sorry,
talking about
I don't want-
Flatland.
Yeah, Flatland.
Yeah.
You know
Absolutely.
about that.
Of course, of course.
I read it in high school.
Of course.
And I even had taken a nonlinear Euclidean geometry. I studied that on my own. And so if you think about it, this is 3-dimensional,
Yeah.
and you go through and go through a 2-dimensional word, you're getting slices. 2-dimensional slices of this object.
That's right.
So I said, well, it's easy then if you, like, for example, wrap this table into like something like this, like a pretzel, and now you can go hop in from one to another, even though this would be the normal way to go.
Yeah.
You can cross over by going into higher dimensions.
Right.
So she was so fascinated by this. She said, I'm going to just, yeah.
Let's do that, yeah.
She was so fascinated by it. She said, I want to do an article on this. I talked to my editor. He's totally cool with it. I said, are you sure? Because this is Popular Mechanics. This isn't like Journal of Metaphysics or something, or Metaphilosophy. And I'm going to stay. And so they did this article. And it went viral.
Yeah.
I had hundreds of people hitting my websites, writing me emails. I've had like 10 or 15 books people send me. There's even some guy in Las Vegas who wrote a whole bunch of books on gambling. He visited me at my lab.
Oh, really?
And he gave me his books. I'm sorry I didn't have a chance to read them before this, but okay. And, I won something. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, darn. All right. So he just, so it just exploded. I had like 300 emails. people calling me from India.
Really?
Yeah, writing me letters and interviews. And so I just didn't. I was thinking I was going to get persecuted for this because
Right.
it's like you said, most scientists probably don't. I think
Yep.
yeah.
Oof.
Okay. So so most people, I figured I was gonna get flack, but I didn't
Right.
care. I'm religious, and at some point, Jesus said, "Those who believe in me will be persecuted." I was okay with that. But it was like 99% of the people were like completely up for this, like excited about this.
Sure.
And so I hit a nerve. I mean, I've been writing about these things for a long time, actually. I've given talks on them, but I mean, it was never like that something went this viral. And so, I mean, I was excited about it because I think that, first of all, I think that as human beings, we have a natural, we have a natural inclination to want to do better,
Sure.
to want to seek, to understand, to get, and so it's natural for me to ask those kinds of questions, and it gives me happiness. What's so wrong? I mean, I separate my physics and my metaphysics very nicely, and what's so wrong with having something that motivates me, that gets me excited to want to do more physics?
Sure.
Because I think that I mean, obviously God's laws of physics are God's laws of physics. They're not going to change. I mean, he set them up. Yeah. No.
12,
13.
13, 22.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's all right. I hate to say it, but when it's not your money,
It's easier
so
to
much more
stomach.
fun.
It's
so much
easier to
more
stomach.
fun.
I get
Yeah.
that. That's funny.
I'm sorry, Daniel, but
No, no.
although you're doing very well.
I'm doing
anyway,
all
so
right.
I
I'm
don't
doing
feel-
all right.
I don't feel too guilty.
No. When I hit that big one, that was all we really needed.
Yeah. So that's what happened. Is it got into, and then people did YouTube.
Yeah.
Dozens of YouTube. Even my son was like, "Dad, my kid,
You went viral?
my kids are
Yeah.
like, they're in a different, they're in a."
You want to stay against that?
Stay against that.
Yeah.
All right, I'll stay.
Odds are he's gonna bust.
Okay.
And
16, 2 minutes.
thank you.
Okay.
He took the long way
Okay.
there, but he did it. He did it. He did.
I'm like I said, I'm sorry.
Thanks, John.
But I mean, the thing is, when your kids are like, "Dad, my friends like told me about this thing popped up on, I forget, Probity or some."
Yeah. Don't forget your dollar on top.
Yeah. But, then it's like, then it gets real.
Yeah.
And then students were like, "Doc, is this you?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure." It's my opinion. I have the right to an opinion.
Right. Of course.
And it's not necessarily that I'm representing any other organization. It's just my personal opinion.
Couldn't be 6, 7, 8. I know.
Yeah.
I know. You got
Yeah,
it.
that's a tough one. I guess
You want to hit against
I'll
the
hit,
7,
I'll hit. Okay. So that's where it went viral.
Yeah.
And I'd never had something go quite that viral. But again, I was so motivated and so excited with all the people that wrote me and all the and I mean, there were people that were like, you hit a. Can I change this for a $5? That were like, they loved what I did. They thanked me. Like, it all made sense for them, and that's good. Then if it makes people a little happier, I don't really see what's so wrong with it.
No, for sure. So
Personally.
when you think about these ideas, when you are you able to visualize what you're thinking? Like,
Yeah.
can you see a tesseract in your head?
Yeah.
Like, how does this work for you?
Well, did you ever see the film Interstellar?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so I watched that, and
You
on
wanna
the plane,
stay.
I'll stay. So I watched it, and I'm like, who did the physics? This is amazing.
Yeah.
The tesseracts and everything, the time travel, and so I was. I look at the credits.
Yeah.
And it's Kip Thorne.
Yeah.
Nobel laureate, my
Yeah.
professor at Caltech.
Oh, wow.
Who taught me Introduction to General Relativity, and so.
And you're like, no wonder they got
I
the
was like,
physics
oh,
so right.
Now I see why
Yeah.
the physics. So, it's not that I can imagine. I mean, I have my mind more thinks in 3 dimensions because that's what I was born. I think when your soul, when you die, I think then you can access higher dimensions. And
Right.
then, yeah, I'm going to definitely hit.
Well, he's got to check first if he's got a blackjack. He does not. So now you can hit.
Okay, so
yeah.
hit.
16.
Okay, I'll stay.
You stay?
Go on.
Okay, so so the thing is, it's not that I visualize. I mean, I visualize it from the standpoint of thinking of higher dimensions, thinking of degrees of freedom. Quantum mechanics, that's all you do is you think of degrees of freedom in
Right.
terms of that. And so, so I thought it's not a big deal. You know, I mean, I tell my students, don't be limited by your intelligence. Just dream.
How can you not be limited by your
You can
intelligence?
definitely, because we can think outside of the box. I'll stay. Because that's exactly why, because we can think outside of the box. Tesla said we are connected to a higher intelligence and of knowledge, and when he would get his inspirations, it was being connected to that. So, I mean, God said all that will happen through me. I mean, God gives us our talents, our ability to see things. He's driving the show in some sense. Just it's sort of, you know, it's behind the scenes.
Fair enough. And so you can visualize what you're.
I can. Yeah, I'll stay.
So something that like blew my mind that I don't really have a good understanding of is like 8-dimensional math.
Yeah.
I forget what it's
Yeah.
called. There's a specific.
Sure. Yeah, you're talking about like Hilbert space or just vector. Yeah, higher algebras. They call them higher dimensional, like differential geometry.
Yeah. So when you think
Yeah.
about higher dimensional
Yeah.
math, are you picturing?
I can't picture 8 dimensions.
That's what I'm
okay?
saying. Like how close?
No, it's
so
a mathematical equation.
Is it an abstract thinking?
It's an
like-
abstract thing.
Okay.
So let me give you an example.
Yeah.
A point, which doesn't exist in the universe,
Yep.
is 0 dimensions.
Yep.
Okay. 1 dimension is a line.
There's a line.
So
yeah.
if I wanted to define a distance in 1 dimension, then what I do is I'm going to stay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when I think of a point in 1 dimension, in terms of in 1 dimension, I can talk about the distance x1 minus x2. I can take a tape measure.
Mm-hmm.
When I talk about the 2 dimensions, I can talk about like a hypotenuse in a right triangle. So it's x1 minus x2 squared plus y1 minus y2 squared square root. That's how you calculate the hypotenuse. Now you go to 3 dimensions. Just add a z1 minus z2 squared, add the sum of the squares, you get your distance. So I can go to, I'll hit on that. So once I do that, now it's easy to set up an equation of what is the higher dimension. It's in our mathematics.
16.
Yeah.
So my argument is that in the mathematics, it's because we can imagine higher dimensions, they're probably there. We have such an amazing creativity, ability to dream, imagine that basically
You're saying because we can imagine it, it probably
exists, yeah.
Really?
in the Hilbert space of infinity of all possibilities, yes.
Well,
Probably.
in the space of all possibilities, everything
I'm
exists.
joking
so
when I say
yeah.
Hilbert space. It's a physics nerd term, but yeah, in quantum mechanics,
Yeah.
it's a space of functions. But it's in this. Okay, I have to hit on that.
14.
You want to stay on 14
Oh,
against
I'll
the
stay.
6. Can I do one of these on this? It's a
on the
9.
hard 9.
Only on a hard
With
9.
Yeah, with the ace you cannot.
I could do this
Yeah,
though.
with your own money.
All right, let's do that. All right. Uh-oh.
This is fun,
Can
I'm
I take
telling
it
you.
back?
17. It's
Okay.
only on 17. You got it.
Thank you.
Damn, you good.
Ah,
So don't put that
only
in there.
sometimes. Only sometimes. All right. What's your favorite part about teaching physics to young people? Like, is it seeing their imaginations come to life? Is it?
Yes, when I teach, I've been teaching for 22 years here, 4 years at another university, and when I was in graduate school. And you get to know your students because we connect on a quantum level.
Yeah.
So you have a sense of when they're getting it.
Right.
17.
17, I'll stay. So you get a sense when you watch when you see students like this, when you're talking.
Yeah.
And when you start, and one thing is when we start, they'll ask, now of course we talk physics, but sometimes there's natural questions. Doc, what goes on outside of the Big Bang? Well, now it gets interesting. Okay, because now we're getting into the realm of metaphysics. I don't teach metaphysics, needless to say, but the fact that the students are excited about thinking about what is it outside of our universe, that's a big deal. Because that's what is the human condition. We don't know, we cannot know, but we want to know. That's the essence of what to me drives life, the excitement of life. And so when I see the students, that they see the equations, they see the puzzles,
You want to hit?
I want to hit.
Yeah.
I want to hit. Okay.
I'm
So
gonna
when I see them,
bust the same way. Yeah. Oh. Please go on. Yeah, it's still busted.
so when I see them and they're asking the questions, some of them I can answer. And then they're excited when because like I remember once I was teaching about electrical safety and I was talking about GFI outlets. And I explained, like, they go and there's a button to press. Well, sure enough, the next day, a student said, Doc, thank you for telling me that in class because it worked. Our roommates, our GFI outlet had failed, and I did what you said and it worked.
Oh.
So, I mean, let's see, 15. I guess I'm going to stay on that one.
Have 18. Most likely.
Yeah, you want to hit on a 15.
Okay,
I mean,
I'll try.
You're probably going to bust,
Okay,
but you have to try
okay,
and...
Okay,
Yeah.
I bust. Okay.
Because you have to assume he has a 10 under
Yeah,
there.
yeah,
Because
yeah.
there's more
Okay,
10s than
I
anything
see,
else.
okay.
Yep. See? So do you prefer doing your own theoretical physics, or do you prefer teaching?
Well, I'm an experimentalist, so I have
Okay.
a laboratory. I have lasers, I have diamond anvil cells.
So you take theory and apply it into
And sometimes what I do, the measurements I do, drive theory. I guess I'll hit on that. Okay, I'll stay on that one.
There goes my 5.
No, we got more.
You got more 5s?
Or a 4.
Or a 4?
Yeah.
All right. I need a 5 on this one, though.
5.
Nope. I'll hit that. Give me a small. Nah. Please.
Yeah, so did we went even?
You push, and
Okay.
I get a little bit thanks to my 2 little gold chips.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So let's see, I forgot what we were talking about. We
We were talking about experimental
Oh,
physics, theoretical physics.
So, I mean, sometimes my experiments drive theory because I
Oh.
deal with matter at extreme conditions. No, it's a kind of a frontier that,
Like high pressure.
like what you might see in a nuclear detonation: high pressure, high temperature, high radiation. And so,
You collide particles like
well, yeah, I've done accelerator physics. I work with the synchrotrons, like the Advanced Photon Source in Chicago, or
You want to
I'm gonna
stay,
stay.
yeah.
So yeah, I do experiments, but I love to do the research. But I love to do, at the same time, I love to do the, I love to teach because what I get to do as a professor is I get to share knowledge in the classroom. I get to generate knowledge, and I in research, and I review my knowledge, by working out problems. So it's a great job.
Sounds like
I
it.
stay on top of the game.
No insurance.
I know insurance.
Uh-oh. You should have taken insurance.
Okay. I don't know this game well enough.
There's usually, I don't know, most people either do or don't, right, with insurance?
But it's a bad bet.
Huh?
It's a bad bet.
It's a bad bet.
It is a bad bet.
Yeah. See, it's a bad
Okay,
bet.
I read it somewhere that they said it was not.
It's not a good bet to
recommended,
make?
Yeah. It had to do with the odds.
Because you need a 10 under. So,
Right. Well, aren't you supposed to assume it's a 10 under? So,
but it's not going to be a 10 because there's more
right.
non-10 numbers like this.
It's a bad bet because there's more non-10 options than there are 10 options. You're right.
That's what I remember. Yeah.
And 21 over there. 3-1. Look at that.
19.
Okay, I'll stay.
Oh, bust.
17.
17. There you go. We both win.
Okay, for a change, good.
Did I lose?
You lose this, but
Oh, all right. That happens.
Yeah, Yeah, so I mean, I like it all. I like the combination of being in a laboratory because it keeps me up to date. It keeps me connected to the world, but also teaching keeps me connected to the human world. I like that.
You like
to
that.
help. I like to help students. You know, I'm a father. I like
So,
my.
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like once I had an evaluation where.
For your dollar.
Oh yeah, where there was a kid. I don't know who he was, but he said, "I wish he was my father." Now that was hard for me because it was like, oh, I'm a lot older than I think I am. Because now, which is true, my kids are in college, and so that's a 20, right? If I wanted to, yeah, I'll stay.
Yeah, you have a 20, but we've got to dodge that 10 underneath
Right.
first. We dodged it. Thank you.
I'm gonna just.
So wait, he said he wished you were his father?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a lot.
Yeah, that was a lot. I mean, on the one hand, obviously, you know, I got through to some student there, but it was like, darn, you know, like, wow, this is, you know, so, I mean, I like that. I like to help the world one student at a time.
Yeah.
And so I've had many, you know, stories where, you know, students that I've trained ended up becoming doctors and architects and people that actually helped me. And, you know, when can I trade one of these for 5 ones? So, you know, I contribute to the community by training specialists on how to think, how to solve problems, and how to have a awareness of science and a humility too. If you don't have a humility for science, you end up developing things like DDT or GMO or whatever, which poison people, and you don't have that respect. And it's not about making money. It's about
18.
Okay, I'll stay. It's about helping the world.
Right.
So I try and instill that in my student, that sense of wonder. I'm cool with that sense of wonder. Because everywhere I see everything in terms of physics. I see particles, I see energy. I mean, it's weird, but it's not that weird. It's
Right.
just that I feel it. And so, you know, I don't see anything wrong with that. And if I can get my students that sense of wonder, that sense of humility, that sense of let's all work together and care for one another and make the world a better place, I don't see anything wrong with that, personally.
That's very fair. Ooh. You'll want to. Oh, there's one of my 9s again.
Hey, you got more than
Yeah, we got more 9s. All right. You'll want to stay against the 3.
Okay.
We'll do this. How about you said there's more 9s, John. That could have been a deuce. I'll stay there. How about a 9 or deuce? We'll stay. All right. Do you think you'll be teaching as long as you can and doing physics as long as you
Yes.
can? You're not going to start an AI company or do one of these things that.
Well, I mean, you know, I have some inventions discoveries that I've made that with X-rays and making new materials. And I'll say that UNLV is pushing me hard to set up a company. I would still always be affiliated with UNLV. My father was a professor of chemistry. He retired at age 78. So, I mean, I could see myself. I mean, I love my job. Why would I want to retire or do something different?
You want to stay?
I'll stay. Okay, I'll stay.
Yeah, I will too.
You know,
And that's why.
okay.
Yep.
So, you know, why if I'm doing something well,
Yeah.
and I'm helping
You're having
the world,
fun doing
I'm
it, you're
having
helping
fun
the
doing it, why would I
world.
quit? You know, I have tenure, thank goodness. And UNLV took a chance on me and supports me. I support UNLV. It's reciprocity.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, that's fair, and I appreciate that sort of thought process, right? Where it's not just because too much of the world is. I mean, and we're gambling right now, so it's an interesting position to take. But the world is just so obsessed with money. It's
Yes, it is.
crazy.
And materialism.
Yeah. It's crazy, like how people put money above all else. Like it's almost like money is God to a lot of people.
Right, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, worship the golden calf. And I just don't see it that way. Money is just a means. It's an exchange mechanism. It's not the end-all be-all to happiness. I'm sorry. Happiness transcends our universe. Our need to connect with one another. The love. That is what we need, not money.
So
Money cannot buy happiness. I'm sorry.
No, here's the best quote I've heard is that money can't buy happiness,
Okay.
but poverty can't buy anything.
Well, yeah, my dad used to say, you just want to have enough money so you don't have to worry about it.
Right.
Of course.
No. To me, so I always tell people Monopoly is just monopoly money to me.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah,
like as
right.
long as I have enough to play the game,
Right.
like
yeah,
that's all that really
right.
matters.
Obviously, if I'm starving and I'm freezing on some, aqueduct here, I mean, it'd be sad. I mean, then I can't think about. It's hard to think about God when you're starving.
What's your hierarchy of needs, right? You need your
You do have
basic
a hierarchy.
needs.
Can I trade 5 for?
You need your basic needs taken care of.
Yes.
But then
that's
beyond
the animal
that,
needs. Okay. But beyond that, we have a higher need to be with one another, to connect. We weren't born in a vacuum. That's really a critical concept, and so, I mean, part of being together, part of this journey. Wow.
21. So you've got a nice split. You want to do one of these? You'll get a free
I'll do
split,
the split. Free split. Okay.
and then hopefully you'll get more.
I see,
Let's
I
see.
get it. Yes, I remember
And
this.
then
Okay.
13.
You want to hit on that? That's right.
Okay, that's done.
Come on, 9.
Okay,
Oh,
stay there.
Stay there. I'll take one even though I'm scared.
21.
Thank you. You should have given that to him.
No, I don't need it.
That's a lot of knives.
I can't split mine.
Yeah.
Man.
Okay, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Mike, I understand being spiritual. I'm very spiritual.
Sure.
I believe in a higher power, though I don't know.
Right.
I don't want to attribute it's this or that. Why specifically Jesus, and why specifically
Yeah.
the faith you've chosen?
Yeah. So, well, first of all, my ancestry is Serbian American. So my great grandparents came to this country, and
7 or 17.
7 or
That's
7.
a free hit.
Yeah,
It's a
I'm
free
gonna
hit.
do the yeah.
17.
Now you're.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I was born as an Orthodox Christian.
Yeah.
Okay. But if you look at the life of Jesus, more than any other human being is on earth, are we rebetting? Okay.
Your
So that
dollar.
was I get it.
Yep.
So he sacrificed. He gave everything and got nothing. He set the
If he
stage.
existed at all.
I'm very convinced he existed, and in my opinion, and there is historical record. I'm going to stay. Pontius Pilate wrote of him. There were miracles that happened in Ethiopia when he was an infant, just an infant, born, and Herod was chasing him, and that the whole people, all the Ethiopians converted en masse. They were the first Christians. So something they did was amazing. The point is that it was that idea of love your enemy, help your neighbor. Those concepts are very fundamental concepts. And I'm not saying people didn't think that way in the past,
Yeah.
but the point is,
Oh no. Do I get 21 still, right? Yeah.
but the point is that that was one of the first times in human history where, this concept of love your enemy. And so even if you don't believe in the miracles of Jesus, his message is amazing.
I agree with that completely. I believe in kindness.
Yeah.
But why? In a world where picking one is
Yeah.
divisive,
Right.
no matter what,
Yeah.
why not the broader acceptance of spirituality and faith versus
Yeah.
a specific one?
Well, let me just say it this way, okay? First of all, again, faith is an issue of faith is an issue of a personal issue, okay?
Sure.
And obviously, human beings, most races, cultures have had this idea of some higher spiritual presence. That's been human nature ever since humans probably walked this planet. But the point is that Jesus is attributed many, many miracles. And so the point is that again, coupled with the are we done?
We get to go again. Yeah.
Coupled with the message, it's just the loving message, the fact that it's a resonant message, the idea of fasting, of preparing yourself, trying to follow him. Look, Henry David Thoreau, Gandhi, they all followed Jesus. Nonviolent protest. He was one of the first people to talk. Okay, let's see.
Suited 21 goes. 10 to 1. You got
Suited 21. Oh, 10 to 1. Look at that, 250.
14.
I think
You should hit it.
You want to hit
I'm
against
gonna
the
hit.
9.
Yeah. Let me hit again. Yeah.
Nope.
Okay.
And then let's see if that same thing happens to me.
14.
14. Let's take a small one. Nope. Too late. So yeah. So I'm still not.
Can also change 5. Sorry.
I'm still not understanding why you would. I mean, I get being born into. I was born
Yeah.
Greek Orthodox.
Okay. Cool.
You know, did
yeah,
the
same
whole
thing.
yeah.
Same thing.
Yeah, went to church.
Yazoo.
And, yeah. You know, Greek Orthodox. I went
I go to Greek Orthodox Church too, by the way.
Oh, okay.
The one St. John's.
Okay.
Here in Harmon or Hacienda.
Okay.
Hacienda. Yeah, in Jones.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so I did all that too, and
It's a free double.
Yeah. Okay.
I still settled on a non-particular faith.
Right.
I guess is. And hopefully, we were looking
Okay.
for a big card. Yeah, I'm still curious why Jesus versus God in general and that whole.
Yeah. Well, so I've got an explanation for it from a physics perspective.
Oh.
That God is the Father. There's called the Trinity.
Yeah.
The Holy Trinity. God
Yeah.
the Father, God the Son, and God the Holy Ghost. And so basically, the Holy Spirit is like a wave. Let's see. I
Wait.
think I really don't.
Oh yeah, you want to hit
I
against the
wanna
king.
hit it, yeah.
18.
18.
Okay,
You want to
stay.
stay on that? I'll take my.
So
So wait, are you saying the Holy Spirit is the wave function?
like a wave function.
Okay.
Like a God wave function. Like do you know what I mean? Not quite the waves here, but like that. A
Okay.
warming wave. Like when you chant in church and you've got that.
Would you like another drink? Are you okay for now?
You want coffee, water?
I'll have another Coke. Actually, can I get an orange juice? Sure. Thanks.
I'll do another diet. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Oh, you want to bet? Put your dollar up top. So the Holy Spirit is the wave function?
Yeah. So there's something called the particle wave duality.
Okay, this I'm going to try and grasp
Okay.
this. Okay.
So that means that you can look at things as particles or waves.
Yeah.
So Jesus is like God in the particle form, in a way.
Jesus? Wait. Jesus, God is a particle. I get that.
Like
okay.
we're particles. We're made of particles. Our bodies. Okay. We're made of matter.
Come on, 10.
15.
15.
That's 15.
I might have 7.
You're supposed to take one against the 7, so it's up to you.
I'll try it.
Woo!
Oh, okay. I'll stay.
Looks like all the little cards are gone. All right, now with 10.
Big one. 16.
I have to take one.
17.
All right, I'm going to stay now. 15.
18.
You still have small cards. How is it so many small cards, John?
You know what's coming now.
Okay,
Yeah.
Jesus is God
So,
in particle
the
form.
particle-
That's fascinating. I've never thought of it that
so
way.
that's his representation in this four-dimensional space-time.
Yeah.
Then you have the Holy Spirit is sort of the wave form of God.
So God.
That-
So the Holy Spirit is God as the wave
Evanescent.
function.
Wave function in a way.
Jesus is God as the particle.
Right, in a way.
So
the
wait.
particle
So God
form of
exists
God.
outside
I
the
mean,
wave function.
And then he exists outside the universe, the Father.
Wait. Is the wave
The holy
function
fire.
Is the wave function unique only to this universe then, right?
The Holy Spirit, I think it actually goes into all of. I think there are many. I'll stay. I think God created many universes. And I think
Yeah.
it goes everywhere. Okay, it's the way God connects with everything.
You made $5.
Okay,
For the dollar bet up
I'll
top.
take it. That's
Yep.
okay.
Yep.
Look, I'll take it. Can I also trade funds?
So God. Okay.
So there's God the Father. Like think of Galileo or Michelangelo painting something.
Yep.
So there's God the Father doing the painting. He's the holy fire. Okay. Then he has put himself around his son, but it's also him in our world in the painting. That was Jesus.
Yep.
But then he also connects via this spiritual, this higher.
13.
You want to stay against the 6.
Okay, I'll stay.
Yep.
And so the thing is that aspect of. So the point is these are the three components of God that are like a combined wave function. God the Father,
Yep.
the Son, and the Holy Spirit. They're all together. Did we win something?
We did
Okay,
great.
Cool. Yeah.
We did great.
Yeah. So that's why we do this. We hold the three fingers in one. They're one together. It's like if you look at one analogy, you can't analogize God, but one analogy is, okay, so I'm confused.
No, I'm winning.
Oh, okay,
No,
okay,
yeah,
okay.
it's a great hand. Yeah. So I won 30 to 1. So I won $750 on that one.
Yes.
I'm still
Blow me away.
I'm still trying to grasp this.
Yeah. Maybe we've got a little bit of providence here, a little bit of luck.
Thank you, John.
But
Appreciate it.
Yeah, we're doing. I mean, we're definitely there's a divine.
there might be not for me, but that's okay. I'm good with this. I'm good. I have limited. You know what I mean? This is not like my. Oh yeah.
Right.
Limited goals.
So tell me more about God, and,
Yeah.
and so Jesus is the particle.
Yeah.
The Holy Spirit is the
Well,
wave
the
function.
particle form of God.
Yeah. No, I
The
get
Holy
that.
Spirit is like a wave form of God, and then there's the Holy Fire, which is the Father, the beginning. I mean, the one that started it all. Okay, I'll stay.
I forget his name.
I forgot how this related because you had asked me a
Yeah.
question related. I'm sorry about that. I think I won.
You did. You beat him.
Thanks. I'll go. So the point is that we are connected. So Jesus was here,
Yeah.
the particle form of God,
Yep.
and the Holy Spirit. When you pray, that's how you connect through prayer. God, the Father, is outside of this universe.
You want to do that? Get your free double.
Oh yeah, I'll get there.
And hopefully it's good. Yeah. Please.
Okay, so there's so the point is the only thing we have right now is that ability to pray.
19.
There you go.
Oh,
Look at
super
that.
duper!
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, $50. Woohoo!
Right.
Let's celebrate.
Thank you. Let me give you that. Thank you. I forget his name now. He's in the AI space and he's in the theology space. And he described God in a way that to me was the most beautiful way I've described it. And hopefully I can pull it up at some point and send it to you. But the way he described God was it existed long before us and it doesn't need us to recognize it in order for it to exist.
Oh, of course.
And it was like such a profound way
Yeah.
of explaining it.
Oh yeah. Okay, forget it. So the doubles when you get 10.
10s.
9 or 10 or 11.
Oh, I didn't know
And you
that.
could double for free. It's
Okay.
free bet blackjack.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm a 6 against the 10. I'm supposed to hit. All right. Please.
So the thing is that again, God has been around forever.
Yep.
Absolutely forever.
Yep.
Okay? So we have not, as far as we know, we have not been around forever. So think of like a line that goes infinite extent that you could analogize like God. We're the ray. We started at one point and then we go on forever.
Yep.
Okay. So the point is that of course God is God. I am that I am. That's the famous saying.
Yep.
Okay. And so the point is, no, God does not need us, but that doesn't mean that God doesn't want to, stay. God doesn't want to be glorified, or I should say, how should I say this? To have friends, people that, I like to hang out with people. Why? I can't fully explain that, but I like companionship. I like friendship. Well, why wouldn't God? I mean, if God wants to create a cool world with people that understand what He's done and appreciate what He's done, I don't see what's wrong with that. So I just see that it's just that 18, yeah. I think I'm gonna stay.
I'm gonna say.
So I see nothing wrong with that.
So how do you wrap your head around? I mean, this ended up being more theology than physics.
It's okay.
But I mean, I think most people are interested in that anyway.
That's cool. That's okay. I'm not afraid. I mean,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Well,
Ask me what you want. I mean, it doesn't diminish my being a physicist. It just, it's.
You get a free double here.
Okay, I'll get the free double.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I will split my aces and hopefully keep getting more.
Monster.
Come on, John.
Monster. 7,
Ah,
18. Sorry.
where were my extra aces, John? Oh, and you got a 20 too. So how do you, as a physicist, someone who, I appreciate that you're at least based in reality, right?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
as a
No,
scientist,
absolutely.
you have to be.
based in reality.
Right, you have to have at
You
least
can't do
one
thi-
leg in this world.
Correct.
So then, how do you? Thank you. How do you come to terms with our finite? Like everything we understand is finite. Even the
Right.
universe, as we know it, is
Right.
finite. We will
Right.
eventually reach heat death,
Right.
and that'll be that for
That's
the
correct,
universe.
yeah.
So how do you reconcile us living in such a finite place where God, the concept of God, is
Right.
infinite and without beginning, without
Right. So let me explain a little story. When I was actually in the one of the, an Orthodox church.
You'll want to hit against the
Yeah.
name. There you go.
Okay. So my youngest son Luca was we were in church,
Yeah.
and there's a famous chant about infinity. I forget, like forever, eternity. No, I'm good. Okay. And so he was like 4 or 5, and he looks up to me. He says, "Daddy, what's eternity?" And he said, "Well, that's like living forever. Remember we talked about infinity, the concept of 1 and 2, and then infinity." And then he would say, "What's the largest number?" I'd say infinity. He said, "Well, what's infinity plus 1?" Infinity. And then he's like, "Oh, that's a concept." And so the point is that the mind, in some sense, is the playground of infinities. Am I good? Okay, yeah. It's a playground of infinities. We have our mathematics, which is very easy to explain infinity. It's not that I understand it, I don't live infinity, but I have inside my mind a sense of infinity. And that's, again, the gift from the infinite, from God. Okay? I'm good? And so the essence is that,
You're good.
okay.
Yep.
So,
We good?
so the essence is that we're okay with infinities because of the fact that we are part of that. That's that hyperdimensionality. That's our connection to infinity. Even
So
though
you-
we're limited here, there's something in our mind that is infinite. That's our imagination. There's no
Our
limits. I can imagine universes parallel to these universes. I can imagine universes of 10 dimensions. I don't care. I'm cool with it. I'm not scared.
Right.
I might be the tiniest little infinitesimal nothing, but I have this connection.
You're going to stay against the
I'll-
two,
okay, I'll
probably.
stay. But I have this connection with the infinite, and that's the gift. That's the essence of the gift. Whew. It's powerful stuff.
But everything we know is finite. I have trouble. Like I can.
But it's not. I can show you series, convergences. The Zeno's paradox. Mathematics is filled with infinities. There's different infinities. There's Aleph naught.
It's also full of paradoxes that we can't.
Well, okay. Well, that's the
Right.
human condition.
Like what is
Can I trade 5 for 1?
like the set that contains all sets, but then
Yes,
what set
you can go
contains
beyond
that set?
You can
Right.
talk
That's what
to
I'm
the fact
saying.
that the set of rational numbers, the set of integers, there are different infinities. But the fact that we can understand that we have mathematics for that, that's like totally cool. I mean, that is what, that excites me because I'm comfortable with it. I'm not scared of the infinities. I'm not as scared that, I'm not scared of the, I'm not scared of the fact that, because we have this gift, we have this ability to feel it all. Don't you feel the love? You know what I mean? There's like
There's definitely something.
there's a happiness when I get an insight, when I'm, I feel, this is why we like to be in nature, because we're connected with all of this symphony of God's waves. 16. And that, I'm cool with that. I'm
Is
happy.
God the set that contains all sets?
Of course.
But then what's
I
outside
am
that
I am.
set?
There's nothing outside. He's been around forever. I am that I am. That's his essence. Everything that there is to know is through God.
Yeah, but how can you explain something that has no beginning when everything we know has a beginning and an end?
Because where did energy come from for this universe? It had to come. Something doesn't come from nothing.
Right.
Something came from something.
But
There
you're
was
saying
something
God
before.
came from nothing.
But the point is that God, if there was no God, God has been around forever. I'll stay. He has been around forever, so he is the progenitor of all of this. I am the Alpha and the Omega.
Right.
Okay? So the point is that...
Push.
Okay, let's push. So the
All right.
point is that it's okay. That's why God is outside of this universe. Because the universe came from something. It came from God, in a sense, not directly from God, but from something he made. Remember in the Nicene Creed, there's something that talks about,
You're good. Yeah.
There's something that talks about of one essence with the Father, by whom all things were made. That essence, that's our soul. That's not the body.
You want to stay? I want to split. See what happens. 6 would have been better. 6, please.
Oh.
All right. Against the 10, I might as well. Yeah. All right, please.
Okay, so it's totally cool that, that again, God is outside of this universe. He made this universe. However he made it, I don't know. I can't add. That's metaphysics. But the point is, there has been an essence. If we're here, there had to be something before us. We are
Right.
created beings.
Right.
But we have that sense of infinity of being around forever through God. Humans are weird. Humans will do, kids, when you're young, you think you're going to live forever. You won't. I mean, not in this world, but you feel that. That's through our soul. That soul is something that has been around forever.
Fair.
So people who are like weird about the, I don't mean weird, but people who are like with the reincarnation, I don't believe in that.
You
But I
don't-
mean, that's part of, no, I don't.
Okay.
I don't want to go through this. What I went through in this life, I don't want to go through it. Okay. I don't want to go through it again. Like, I'm looking forward to being with my creator. Okay.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Fair
is
enough.
that hard to ask? I don't know. Is that such a nasty thing?
No. I think that makes sense. I'd love to have you back on at some point, and we could
Anytime.
have a theology conversation and kind of
we could do that. Sure.
debate more about this. But do you want to do maybe so? Since I did well on my own today, I figure we'll donate whatever's left in front of you at the end of this.
Okay, cool.
Do you want to do a couple big bets to try and double it, or do you want to?
Why don't we do a couple of big bets?
All right.
I mean, I don't want. This is for the International Orthodox Christian Charities.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
how about what? Like
$100 a hand for
How
a couple
about
hands, and then what's left?
Okay,
after-
that's cool.
Let's do that.
All right.
Oh, congratulations on the 6
Yeah, that was.
It's the first time I've ever seen it.
Oh, really?
I heard you like, yes, and I turned around and was like, oh.
I know it was, and to get it on film is amazing. Like that's a rare feat. The one I pulled off earlier.
I'm sorry. I am so pathetic.
No. But we'll hopefully win a couple more dollars for your charity here.
Okay.
I would love to do this again. This is fascinating.
Yeah.
It's a difficult format.
It is, but I'm cool with it. I mean, I'm ADHD, so it's fine. It's cool. I mean, these are deep concepts. So
Yes, and it's
be aware
tough.
that I may not have given the best answers, but I gave okay answers.
No,
You know what I mean?
absolutely. And
if I provoke, my interest is to provoke interest.
and yeah, I
in
think
this
you've
subject.
absolutely done
That's
that.
all I want. I don't have all the answers to.
Now you better.
life the
I hope you
universe
get an 8 or bigger, so you
Okay.
beat him, or at least let him bust.
Okay.
Ooh, we need you to bust. Please bust. This is for charity.
Oh,
Son of a gun. All right. Do you want to try one more?
I'll try one more.
All right. We're going to try one more for charity. Here we
It's
go.
all right.
there was another 8 under there.
No, this has been fascinating. I'd love to do it again.
I'm
If
happy
you-
to do that again.
If your scientific brain comes up with a way to make this less fragmented and still keep it interesting for the
Right,
viewer,
right,
I'm all
right,
for
right,
it.
right,
But
right.
I think the fragmented conversation adds a little bit of charm.
Yes. No, it does add charm, and I'm totally cool with that. And I thank you. I mean,
Yeah.
honestly, I've had a lot of fun.
I've had a lot
And my
of fun.
friends are going to be like, what? What did you do? They're going to be fascinated. Oh, wow.
All right.
Okay.
There you go. What do you think? You've got about 350 in front of you. What do you want to do?
I'm good.
Is that good?
Yeah, unless you want to gamble
It's
a little
totally
more.
no. It's up to you. What's in front of you is going to be donated. Do you want to risk it? Do you want to bank it? What do you want to do?
I think I'll bank.
You're good?
For the charity.
All right,
Yeah.
Mike.
Okay.
I really appreciate you doing this. This is a
Daniel,
lot
my
of fun.
pleasure. My pleasure.
All right, that's 1, 2, 325. It's 25.50.
Get more red under there.
Yep.
4,
75.
Okay.
And then these. So you've got $410.
Okay. Okay.
So you only lost 90, and 410 is still going to charity.
I honest to God, I thought I was going to lose this in 5 minutes. I was so freaking out
So you-
because it was going to be embarrassing.
No,
right?
you did great.
The
You did
physics
great.
professor.
So
yeah,
410.
That's
Did you
good.
say Red Cross or Greek or
Could I do the International Orthodox Christian Charities, IOCC?
IOCC?
It's a nonprofit American organization.
Absolutely. IOCC gets $410. Thanks to Mike here. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Table Talk. Join us next time.